Zenshu, Zenshu, Zenshu.
Done.
Nice. Well, we are wearing our hoodies today, and it's because we are talking about the first few episodes. The first, we are talking about the first few episodes of Zenshu.
Zenshu, yeah, new anime.
So, new anime from MAPPA, Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen and all kinds of cool stuff. And Zenshu, it's interesting. It is an isekai.
It is,
but it's an isekai that's kind of more like some of the TV and movies that we've seen in like America, where somebody gets sort of trapped in a TV show or something that they
trapped
love.
in their favorite media, something, be it a book, a TV show, a movie.
Yeah. Now we're wearing hoodies right now because the main character Nasuko, she is wearing a hoodie like through pretty much the entire show.
Yeah.
Because she's wearing like her normal clothes before she falls into this fantasy world.
Yeah. We don't have our hair covering our faces like she does.
No,
but
you probably could. Yeah. But that would be weird. So this show is really interesting because a lot of isekai, it's usually somebody who is like a NEET or somebody who's like, not part of like general society.
Yeah.
Or somebody who's a teenager
or
who feels like...
Yeah, someone who like might be classified as like a loser or, and so when they go into the isekai world, they all of a sudden become the hero and it's very exciting.
Yeah. And generally there's like a want to be there, you know? But
every once in a while there's not like
sometimes,
no longer allowed in another world.
Yeah. Which this one's a little more like. But essentially what's funny about this one is our main character, she's a world famous like anime director.
Yeah.
She's considered a prodigy because she's really young. She basically did this like groundbreaking sort of like Sailor Moon fights like Yakuza like anime basically. And now she's about to do this big feature anime and then she spoiled
dies
clam
from spoiled clam.
Yeah. And then she ends up in this other world. But so it's really interesting because a lot of these isekai are somebody who doesn't have a great life in the real world, but she actually does. She has a really cool life. I mean, her only issue is that she's got writer's block or storyboard block.
No, it's true. And but when she ends up in this other world, it's not just a random other world.
Yeah.
Like we said before, this is one of her favorite movies from childhood.
Yes, A Tale of Perishing.
Yeah, so she ends up in this world. Now, a lot of the time when that kind of thing happens in anime and stuff, the person ends up becoming one of the characters.
Yes.
Like I've fallen into this world and now I'm the villainess. There's
like an already established character.
That's generally what happens.
Yeah.
In this case, she's not. She's herself.
Yeah.
There is a lot of craziness that happens because of it. But like you said, it's really funny because she falls into it and she's like, No. This doesn't happen to successful people like me. It happens to
she happens to me. Yeah. Oh, 100%. And I love that. And I also like the fact that like this is an anime film that she fell into that is like was unpopular because it was so tragic and dark. Everybody dies. It's basically like Berserk, basically. Like it's just really messed up. She can't get back out, obviously. So now she sort of has to essentially join the Heroes Guild and help change the outcome of this story.
Yeah, and so she knows what's going to happen because she's seen the movie. But at least when she first drops in, it doesn't seem like she can do anything other than what she can normally do. She didn't drop in and all of a sudden she can fly and she's she's got magic beams that shoot out of her hands.
Yeah.
No, none of that. She's just her.
Yeah.
She's just Natsuko. And so she's interacting with all these other characters, and when a major event happens, all of a sudden a power kicks in.
She's got this like pen tool thing that talks to her and is like, you need to draw.
And we have one of my favorite magical girl transformations that is the opposite of a magical girl transformation. Usually in like a Sailor Moon kind of thing, the character, they rise up into the air and their clothes change and they're fitted out with their weapon and like in beautiful stuff. In this case, she falls.
Yes.
And comes, gets just shot into her cubicle.
Her cubicle appears out of nowhere in this fantasy world.
And then she just starts drawing, because she has to draw the character that's going to, take on whatever they're fighting.
I haven't seen somebody use a pen that ferociously since Light Yagami killed half of Japan.
I was thinking the exact same thing. And every time it happens, it's the same kind of like animation when Light would get really into it and just writing names. No, she's the same thing. I also love that, her clothes don't change. She is in her hoodie, at her desk, hair in her face. Yeah. It's like, this is not about this, this girl who's just really into animation all of a sudden becoming the beautiful princess. That is not what this is about. She does what she does. She is a successful animator, and that is her power.
Yeah.
And I love that too.
I love that too, yeah.
Because it really leans into the fact that, that what makes her powerful in the real world is also her power in this. Like, she was already powerful.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Sort of like a magic girl anime, but for adult career-driven women.
Yeah.
There's no real wish fulfillment going on.
No, it's great for emo teenage girls.
Yeah.
It's great for career-driven adult women. Yeah, like it is like, no, you do this thing you do. You're good at it. Like, like revel in that because that's what's going to get you far, whatever world you're in.
Totally. Well, you mentioned No Longer Allowed in Another World. It does have aspects of that.
Yeah. He also does all that.
Yeah. Well, because he uses writing in order to change the course of battle.
As she's like going through this movie that she loves, she's obviously changing things.
Yeah.
And so at some point, we're only a couple episodes in, but at some point it's going to hit the point where none of the things that happen are things that she's ever seen before.
Yes.
So she's really going to have to up her game, and that's the other fun thing. So when she draws these things, it always has to be something new.
Yes.
So she can't, like, if she had like one giant
like
dragon,
like a Gundam or something,
she can't draw that for the next one. Maybe she could draw a different type of Gundam, but she has to draw something new each time. And so it's this whole thing of like building her creativity, which is what she needed to be doing in the real world because she was so stuck with her block.
Totally,
Which, you feel like, okay, that's got to be where eventually it's leading. She didn't actually die. She'll come back to the real world and, writer's block is done and she'll probably come out with a whole new story.
Yeah. She needs to, like, learn how to just, like, do the thing when she has to do the thing. But I also think, like, there is, I don't know what's going to, so there's these other characters, there's, like, Luke Braveheart, right? Who's this, like,
the hero.
Dashing hero. Yeah. And it's, like, obviously there's, like, there's going to be, like, a will they won't they thing with the two of them, and that also I'm wondering, like, is going to be part of it because also, like, she's trying to write like a rom-com, and she's also totally stuck, and you can tell because, like, all she does is focus on her animation. She doesn't have a life. She doesn't have a real life, and so, like, it's going to be interesting to see sort of like how this adventure sort of leads her most likely back into the real world.
I also love that, she was such a fan of this. She was such a big fan of this movie that she had all the things for it. So she had all the character sheets and she's like talking about the character sheets. Like, what are these magic things you're talking about?
And they call her like an animator.
Because she's saying all the things that she is. Like, this is a movie and I'm an animator and
But they don't understand because they're fictional characters.
Exactly. And it's so fun because things keep happening. And like I said, it's like, just like she's going to hit a point where nothing in the movie is going to happen anymore because, she's hit where the end point of the movie should happen. But also just all of these characters, she's like, wait, this wasn't in her character sheet. It's so much fun. Like, such a fun play on all that because it also, goes into the creative mind and it's like, they might think of all these things. They might not. They might have them written for people to read about. They might not. It's, like you read like Lord of the Rings and stuff and there's all sorts of compendiums and other things that you can read about the characters, read about the lands and stuff. But, there's all things and you're like, what about that tiny character that we saw for 2 seconds?
Totally.
They have more plot.
Most likely it'll be turned into an entire series for a streaming channel. That one character we met for 1 minute. And I also just love all these other side characters. We talked about Luke Braveheart a little bit. There's this unicorn character that's really funny, Unio, who's like kind of a constant sort of foil for her because they're always like, Unio's always like calls her a gremlin.
Well, because when she first
got her
the hair, so
yeah.
they didn't even realize she was human.
She was human,
yeah. And like every time she has to wear something that's not her thing, or that even like when her hair is away from her face, it's like it almost shocks Unio. Like,
I love it. The elf girl, Memlin, and there's like a little robot character.
I love when she points out the tropes in the movie too.
Yes.
She's like, oh, QT, okay, so now every time that something's about to happen, you're in the middle of charging, so you won't sense it. Oh, so good.
And I love the kind of like monsters. They're fighting these bug monsters. It's somewhere between like, it's like something between like something you see in like Helldivers, and also it reminds me a lot of those weird things in Solo Leveling when he ends up in the desert. and he has to do those challenges. I like it a lot. It's fun if you like isekai. I think it's really fun.
It's a fun opposite take on the magical girl trope.
Yeah, it's got that thing like Overlord or like Gintama have where they sort of like, they joke about the tropes.
Mm-hmm.
I think anyone can enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Because it is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So we've been watching it on Crunchyroll. I don't know that. I think it's the only place to watch it right now. Anything else you want to say about Zenshu?
No, I think it's really fun. Give it a watch. I like that when they start just singing Zenshu when she's doing all her crazy anime.
I know.
But once we finish with this, we'll do a review of the
this is all from only the first 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, a lot happened in the first 4 episodes.
It really did.
All right, guys. Well, Zenshu, let's see. What is your favorite isekai? Let us know in the comment section down below. And thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye! I still think that the clam she ate is, like, supernatural, because it's like, it looks like a devil fruit from One Piece.
Yeah, it might have been a magical one.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Clam fruit.
Yeah, the clam fruit. Yeah, we'll find out.